What a movie today, Scrooge. What a
Oh,
movie.
definitely a real good movie. That's right.
Thank you for allowing me to watch this movie with you tonight.
Oh, you're very welcome, little baby bear.
Probably the worst. What is he supposed to be? Argentinian?
Yeah, he's an Argentinian snake hunter. He hunts snakes for zoos and collectors.
100%. Probably the worst. What do they call that? Not blackface. What would it be? Argentinian face?
That's crazy. You gonna insult me and my culture just like that?
I guess so, ma. All right, well, I guess we'll get into it. My name is AC.
And this is Scrooge.
And these are
Real bad movies.
on tonight's menu. Dude,
so tasty, wasn't it?
this was not even a movie, first of all.
What was it to you?
To me, this was an experiment, kind of like a college movie, something they would make experimental, because this is not actually a movie to me. I'm sorry. This movie is not real to me. There's no way.
Why? Why isn't it real, little baby bear?
Well, first of all, we're talking about 1997's Anaconda, and
Masterpiece.
of course, we're making fun of Jon Voight's character as the single-handedly the worst villain I've ever seen. That video we watched, so we watched a video to supplement after the movie, and it was talking about Anaconda, and the dude in the video was saying, Jon Voight's probably one of the best supervillains of all time. You over there, I knew your head was shaking like hell yeah.
Because Paul Cerrone, he's great. I love him. He's awesome. Now, would I say one of the best, like the way he was? No, but I mean one of the best, enjoyable to watch and make fun of. Absolutely,
100%. I mean,
in my daily vocabulary, I start spouting off Anaconda lines.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Is that you obviously looking at your movie collection. You love these blockbusters. You love these action movies in general, and they always have awesome villains in them, right?
Uh-huh.
Why do you think that they allowed Jon Voight to play an Argentinian, whatever the name is, snake hunter? What do you think?
You know, isn't it Cerrone?
Cerrone. I'm sorry, Paul Cerrone.
Paul Cerrone. You know what? I have no idea why they chose him. Most likely the usual, which is like, yeah, we're gonna throw someone in. I mean, the fact that he even has a villain is hilarious.
Yeah.
But that's why he became the best part of the movie, is because he overtook the place of the snake for the most part.
Well, I kept saying if he wasn't in this movie, I think it would actually be a good movie.
Really though?
I felt like he was taking it too over the top. But we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. We're talking about 1997's Anaconda. We looked up the director, and as well as the video, which actually supplemented it pretty well. He made a movie called The Specialist with Sylvester Stallone.
Sounds
You've
awful.
seen that, right?
No, that's not. That's one of those Stallone ones I probably have stayed clear away from, along with most of his movies from the 90s.
Yeah, it's him and Sharon Stone.
Oh boy.
And James Woods is in it too.
Poor James Woods.
Well, it's funny is the director has a couple other movies called Fire on the Amazon, and this one's 800 Leagues Down the Amazon. This man, I mean, he's from Peru.
He must love the Amazon.
Exactly. I think he was really into the Amazon for some reason.
If it says he's from Peru, that means I guess he was totally cool with Jon Voight playing some Argentinian snake hunter.
Yeah, and he's friggin', I mean, he's Argentinian, so obviously it's not Peruvian. It's a little bit different, but at the same time, it's like somebody, like, obviously we're not from the South, but say some actor from a different country plays a Southern man, and obviously it's blatantly not a Southern. We would notice it and be upset by it. But
right, which you'd think so, but I think it was more of just a joke. I think it was just to have fun with it, because it's just so stupid.
But Jon Voight, I feel like, is the kind of man who, at the end of the day, though he is making it, it seems like I feel like he's really taking this seriously.
Oh,
I don't think this is a joke.
That was the point.
Him.
Oh no, that was the point. It's like he wasn't making a joke, but he was just having fun doing it, for sure.
Exactly. So, yeah, I was looking at the writers of this movie as well. Mm-hmm. So there's, first of all, there's this guy named Hans Bauer that wrote it.
Hans Bauer.
Very cool name to be writing an Anaconda movie.
He's like an action hero himself.
He wrote another kind of movie that relates to reptiles and shit called Komodo.
That? Oh my God, I've heard of that one. That actually should be one we probably need to check out.
We're gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, I think I heard about that one. It's like shit. It's like a shit reptile
Yeah.
horror movie.
Literally. So this dude like loves writing on, and he also wrote the sequel, Anaconda's The Hunt for
The Blood Orchard.
Blood. Or you see, you know that out of the fucking back of your head. I don't even know that shit. Oh my god. But
The second one had, if anyone, you have to see, the second one did have probably one of the scariest shots in like a horror movie, because there's a shot
really, come on.
No, because it plays off of like how you'd feel in the water. It's literally a shot of them. The entire movie sucks, but
Yeah.
this one shot is them walking through the water about waist deep, and the camera angle shows it where you can just vaguely see the snake walking through them, or slithering through them as they're going through the water. And the shot of that, like, think as yourself, how would you handle that situation?
Well, like we were saying in this film, a lot of the shots they're in water, and apparently it was filmed in Brazil, I think, or something.
No, it was. I think
somewhere in the Amazon as well.
I said Peru, didn't they?
Something, yeah. But dude, that's like, even as an actor to like film shots in those waters.
Yeah, I don't think so. Even, I mean, pay me money probably, but even then I'd probably be hating it.
Yeah, no
every
thank
second.
you.
No, I love the sea, I do, but the idea, I'd rather be killed on something on land than being in the water. And
that's
not
why
anything.
I think Jaws was so effective. It's that, it's the scariness of like the unknown, which the ocean and
still
water
hasn't
in
been
general.
discovered, most of the stuff in the water. So no, thank you.
Who knows what's
No thanks.
But yeah, so we got Hans Bauer, who wrote Komodo, which we're gonna have to watch that because it's literally
Sounds awful.
It's funny because it's also one of those movies. It says from the writers of Anaconda and the special effects creator of Jurassic Park, Stan Winston. I guess,
that would be Stan. If so-called Stan Winston was a part of it.
A lot of the time, it's just a couple other guys who worked on the movie and whatever.
Maybe that, or he has a huge school
production,
people.
okay.
So it could have been anybody on there, and they're just using his name.
That makes
what
sense.
What year is it Komodo was?
1999, so 2 years after this.
So it's
one.
after. So that's why, like, yikes.
Yeah, they probably went from Anaconda to Komodo.
Right, to Komodo.
But then there was two other writers on this as well, and I kind of looked up their backstory. Listen to some of these movies that these guys have written, and just keep in mind that they also wrote Anaconda. Okay, Top Gun.
They wrote Top Gun.
Dick Tracy, which was also a big one. Turner and Hooch, which is a Tom Hanks movie.
I didn't like that one.
I never saw it.
It's literally just him about it's Tom Hanks as a detective or cop that has a dog for a partner. It's just like you're really like stereotypically stupid 80s, buddy cop fare. I don't really find those too funny, those movies.
No, but I'm just saying he wrote that, and then they also wrote Secret to My Success, which is with Michael J. Fox, Legal Eagles as well. That was like, I think it was who was in that movie? Robert Redford. So Robert Redford. These guys were decently successfully popular, especially in the fact that they wrote Top Gun and Dick Tracy, two like big blockbuster movies at the time. So you've got a decent amount of writers on this movie, which is why I said at times this movie actually does feel like a real good blockbuster movie. Yeah. There are certain moments in this that feel actually well done and well written.
Not just to mention the budget, like they were mentioning, the budget was $45 million. So $45 million, which, especially for the time, was even a lot of money.
That is.
So it's not like now that's like nothing, but even for the time, that was a lot of money. But that's exactly why this is kind of elevated past just like your stereotypical B-movie, sci-fi movie, original, because like the production value is
top notch.
Is top notch. That's why that's in my opinion why it fares better than those shit, like I said, sci-fi original ones where it's just awful. So
it's
that's
just
why
pure CGI at that point. I think there got to a point in film where like CGI was easier to make. I feel like a movie like this, Anaconda in general, I feel like at the end of the day, it might have took them a little bit more time, and it might have been a little bit harder and stuff to do. Whereas
all
nowadays,
the stuff's expensive. You actually learn about animatronics and all practical effects.
Exactly.
That stuff is now becoming a lot more outdated, so it's all becoming a lot of money.
So then they turn to CGI, which I feel like nowadays is so much easier to make. That's why they can get away with thousands of sci-fi movies and shit like that. But all right, well, let's get into this movie because I didn't want to get into this movie when we watched it. I was interested. So today you kind of showed me two separate movies. You showed me this, and what was the other one?
It was a Godzilla movie.
Which one was that?
It was Godzilla vs. Biollante.
We're gonna have to watch that one day because that did look bad. But when you said Anaconda, I was just like, holy crap! I completely forgot this movie existed.
Well, most people do, but that's why it's a hidden gem. Just like any treasure, you have to go searching for it.
Oh, 100%. And this kind of treasure should stay hidden, correct?
That's in your opinion.
Oh.
I believe that everyone should learn their lesson about the Shrimmer Shaman.
The Shrimmer Shaman. All right, well, let's get into it. So you get a crew of people. I'm
Yeah,
gonna try to just go through this because you've seen it a
Yeah,
bunch of times.
I can
right?
help you on
Yeah.
this one. I'll take it because right now he's struggling. It's okay.
I'm
He's
struggling to.
he's
lead
thinking
this
about of all
podcast.
of the snakes, and he's got a phobia of snakes
100%.
ever since high school. So this movie centers on a group of documentarian, I guess somewhat resembling
It's
a film
like
crew.
King Kong. Okay.
Yeah, it's
okay?
like a
literally
literal,
like King Kong.
but it's like a discount King Kong
Yeah,
because
yeah.
there's like 4 people. If you got Jennifer Lopez is in this movie.
So we got Jennifer Lopez.
She's like, I guess, the director, kind of. She's not really
She runs
clear on it.
everything,
She runs everything. Then
I
you've
guess.
got the production manager, who's some unnamed actress I'm not really familiar with.
Carrie Werher, which I looked up, wasn't a lot. So.
Yeah, so
Denise.
exactly.
Denise is her name.
Okay, then
Because
you
I
got-
remember during the movie we had the subtitles on and it kept saying Denise, screaming or something or
So
Denise whatever.
you have her, and then you have Owen Wilson in one of his first film roles
God,
as
yes.
Gary.
His hair is rough in this movie, dude. He's got like that.
His look hasn't
Beatles
changed
look.
though, man.
Yeah, it
It's
really
been
hasn't.
literally the same hairstyle. Pretty much, find me a movie where his hair wasn't like that, because I'm pretty sure every movie he's ever been in, he's had the same hairstyle.
My hair was like that when I was like 14 years old.
Oh,
and
good though. You had
he's
your hair like
keeping
that when
it
I
on.
met you first.
Yeah. It was. You're right.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was
So,
as well.
My little redhead Owen Wilson over here.
Oh, 100%.
Then we had the actor playing a British, it's kind of like thespian kind of host.
Jonathan
Westwood.
Hyde, which, as I said, he was in He actually is British. He was in Titanic. Or no, not British, Australian.
Okay, so
But
he's playing.
But
British,
he played a
yeah.
British man in this movie. We can tell from the classical music, which we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
And playing golf, of course.
Other stereotypical white British things.
Right, yeah, white British. He was in Titanic. He was in Jumanji. He was in The Mummy. He was in Richie Rich. Have you ever seen that movie?
Seen
With
bits,
Macaulay Culkin.
bits and pieces. I was never a fan of Macaulay Culkin when he was in movies.
I
God,
was
hated that
a,
stuff.
I was a Culkin head back
Were
in the
you?
day. I loved My Girl. I don't know if you ever seen My
No,
Girl.
man, I stayed away from that stuff.
Dan
That was not for
Aykroyd's
me.
in that movie. That's a weird one with Dan Aykroyd. He's
That sounds.
he's in him in a serious drama. Just picture that.
He's actually been in a couple more than you think.
Yeah, but it's just weird.
It's weird, but yeah, no, that's
Home Alone? You didn't like the Home Alone?
No, really, I hated Home
No
Alone. man.
way. That's one of my
Yeah.
favorite movies, dude.
Sorry. Well, let's get back to a real important movie, man.
Yeah,
Anaconda.
let's go back. So,
So-
yeah, well, I mean, if we bring it back around, yeah. So we were talking about Jonathan Hyde, as well. Who are the other ones? Mateo.
Yeah, no, there's the
we're
there's
talking
the
about the
redhead.
crew.
Yeah, the crew.
Okay,
There's
the crew.
there's the redhead ginger. Who
So
was,
that was
Professor Kale. I don't know the actor's name. You had him.
I said yeah. So this is Eric Stoltz, and he
Stoltz.
was in Pulp Fiction. He played the dude with the really long hair.
Yeah,
the druggy dude.
I forgot his name, but
in that
he's
movie.
he's the one who's trying to get Vince to not
Lance. It was
Lance.
a
There we go. Yeah,
yeah.
Lance. When he's
Lance.
during the whole heroin overdose scene.
Yeah, I think he plays a pedophile in The Butterfly Effect. Have you ever seen that movie with
No, with
Ashton
Ashton
Kutcher?
Kutcher.
Yeah.
No. It's
So
not
he's-
really. Well, that's what happens when you start Anaconda. Then your career goes downhill and you're playing pedophiles in
I
Ashton
think he is.
Kutcher movies.
Don't
Well,
quote me on that,
okay.
or I'm just secretly wanting him to be a pedophile.
probably. Then we have, for whatever reason, Ice Cube is in this movie.
Ice Cube.
He really has no title.
I think he just wanted to be
he
in
was
this
just
movie.
there.
Yeah,
So like
I
he's
think he
kind of
wanted
the
to be
camera
there.
guy.
He's the camera guy, and that's
Yeah.
his whole thing throughout the movie. Whenever there's something happening, he's walking around with a camera.
And then Owen Wilson's character is the sound guy. So they're supposed to be resembling a crew. Then there's the captain of the ship, who is his name is Mateo.
Mateo. Vincent Castellanos. I looked him up. He was in quite other things, not too much, like Mulholland Drive, which was a David Lynch movie.
I know that one.
He was
Yeah,
also in
it's
the
freaking
Crow
weird.
sequel as a spider monkey.
Yikes.
Never seen that.
I've
and
seen
then
just the first one.
and it played small parts and nothing too big.
He strikes me as a.
He looks like he would be a good character actor, like a slimy dude. He just
He looked like greasy and everything.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of grease, we even forgot to skip over one of the best, names in the movie.
this
that
is the
wasn't even
last
in it.
one. Well, this is the
was-
last one. Yeah.
No, forget is that the movie opens up.
That's what I'm saying. It's the
yeah.
last guy. Literally, there's 10 people that are credited in this movie.
Well, the last one to credit is Danny Trejo, who plays a short but very significant role at the beginning of a stranded boat captain who is trying to allude to something is attacking him. Something's chasing after him,
Yes.
and he's super greasy. He's just so sweaty.
Oh, this is a rough
Dripping,
Danny Trejo right here, dude. And like,
He's clean shaven too. He usually has the mustache, but he's clean shaven. He's just totally sweating. He's sweating out everything, and it leads to something's chasing after him. He goes up to the top of his boat and just in a fit of desperation, he shoots himself in the
because he
head.
doesn't want to be in this fucking movie.
Right, and
Obviously,
so he ends it right there. Done. He's
So,
gone.
yeah, and I felt like they put Danny Trejo in here because they're like, all right, we need some guy to represent foreign people.
That was
Danny
enough.
Trejo.
And guess what? As long as you got the money, he was right there.
He was, and Danny Trejo will be in anything. We were talking about. I think he's got over. Let me check right now, but I swear he's got over 400 acting
I
credits.
think you said it was like 200.
Let's see. It's loading. 394, almost 400.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
That man never stops working.
I love to
Dude.
know how much money he's made over the years from all that.
He's
Because
got
remember,
a lot.
keep in mind though, like most of those aren't giant
No, he's not getting paid a lot.
movies, so
Yeah.
it's not like he was getting paid a ton for 400 movies.
No, not at all. But so yeah, after the intro scene with Danny Trejo, where they're kind of like introducing, they don't show the snake, but they're kind of just introducing it.
They're hinting towards something's chasing him, whatever. And then we're introduced to the crew, which the whole point of this is that they're looking for an ancient tribe that's hidden off in the Amazon somewhere. No one cares. It's called the Shimishama.
The Shimmer.
Shimishama. So they're shooting a documentary series, and that's the whole point of why they're even going on this trip.
So it's just like a vague foreign people tribe that they're just kind of
Like
being
super generic, like hey, a
being
bunch
such
of white people.
Yeah, literally.
White, yes.
That's literally what I
stereotypically
thought.
White things.
It's like, okay, yeah, white people need to stick their dick in everything, so it's like, oh, let's go annoy one of the last remaining tribe of the Amazon.
But give them credit. This is kind of like a Napoleon trip, and I seen it is Napoleon, right? The ice cream that's got the 3 flavors.
Napoleon.
No, not Napoleon.
No,
What's
not Napoleon.
I don't eat it enough. What's it called?
Oh, Nepotillion or something?
Oh my
Hold
God,
on, hold on.
Nepotillion.
I think so.
Reptilian.
Hold on.
We're having Neapolitan.
Neapolitan.
Yeah, Neapolitan ice cream. It is kind of. It's less of a white vanilla boat as more of a Neapolitan ice cream. Because granted, Jennifer Lopez isn't white. And Ice Cube isn't white, so you do have a little bit of diversity. And Mateo.
Well, they're trying to pass off Mateo like he's like. I think they're trying to pass him off like he's one of the locals because they keep saying he's a captain. But at the end of the day, that dude is just. His last name is Castellanos, which is
probably like Italian.
That's what I was thinking too.
But that's easy because you can so easily.
Oh, he's from Cuba. He's
there
from
you go.
Cuba.
Perfect.
Okay.
So you got think about it. Spanish, Italian. A lot of it has a lot of similar dialects and or phrases, so it's easy to try to just push off one to the other.
Yeah.
So also got dark enough skin complexion. You can easily just slap a tan on, and all of a sudden now
You're
you're
good
from
to
South
go.
America. That's all you need. So
Yeah.
they take off on this trip, and it's just your normal fare for like 20 minutes as it just drags.
Dude, it drags, and the dialogue in this movie is trying to be like a hangout movie for a little bit. I don't know if you know what hangout movies are, right?
Oh, absolutely.
It's essentially, I mean, for listeners, it's just essentially just everyone's hanging out, talking. We're waiting to get the ball going. This movie just drags. It's like a car that won't start. It just keeps fucking dragging out, and they're sitting on their boat and they're talking. I had to write down some of this shit because in the beginning it was just so forgettable throughout this whole part. The way we're introduced to Eric Stoltz when he starts talking to J-Lo, because J-Lo and Eric Stoltz kind of have this like little mingle thing, and so does Owen Wilson and the Denise girl,
Brittany or whatever the hell her name is.
Whatever.
Stock girl.
Stock girl. Yeah, she was. At the beginning, I'm like, she's gonna die. Like you just look at her.
Yeah,
and
you're just like, there's no way she's surviving this whole thing.
Exactly. But how we meet Eric Stoltz and J-Lo, I had to write this down because it was like insane. Stoltz was literally touting about how he got attacked by a piranha or something. Do you remember that dialogue? I was like, what? So he's trying to act like he's like this like world renowned tough explorer and all this kind of stuff. I don't completely get it. And then we're introduced to Ice Cube, and of course he uses the line, "Today was a good day," which is a reference to the song "It Was a Good Day," which is one of Ice Cube's biggest solo hits. And I was like, yeah, they definitely. There was either somebody in the writers was a big fan of Ice Cube, or it could have just been Ice Cube saying, "I want to put this in the movie" or something.
Sure, it wasn't because they just wanted to cool down and put some cubes in their drink.
Funny. Yeah, if you were on that set, you'd be eaten by the Anaconda first. So.
Oh, they don't?
So they're going down the river, and
weather starts getting bad.
They should have played Green River, dude, while they were going down this river.
Well, if it was in Vietnam, or it was Vietnam era,
it kind of looked like it a little bit.
Well, it was just the boat. I mean,
just
97, so they didn't really care.
Hot and muggy and stuff. And it was
the storm comes rolling in, and all of a sudden it starts raining because there's always got to be a storm.
There's got to be a storm when you're going to introduce your fucking
and
villain.
here comes the best part of the movie. Stranded. stranded on a boat. You start hearing a voice saying, "Oh, help! My boat! It's stranded. I can't get out. Oh, I need help, please.
Yep.
Come help me!" And they
and
come.
you hear it, but you don't see him at first.
No.
And I thought that I was like, wait, no, God, this is fucking John Voight. Part of my head was like, no, this isn't. This got to be somebody else, like whatever.
No.
And then I was like, wait, John Voight's not on the boat right now. That means he's I was like,
sure
no.
enough. So they pull over, and here comes John Voight. He throws his bag onto the ship and throws himself onto the ship and makes his presence known. And he thanks everybody for saving him. And now we're introduced to Paul Cerrone, snake
Paul
hunter.
Cerrone, backstory. You said this guy was a Argentinian.
Yeah, he's an Argentinian snake hunter.
Snake hunter. Now, how do we find that out? Because I don't even.
Okay,
I was
so,
fading out.
Yeah,
through
you
this
were
movie.
so one of the best parts of the entire season. My friends and I hold this. A couple of friends of mine and I hold this movie into great regard because of just how stupid it is, especially how great the entire Paul Cerrone character is of just being an over-the-top, scene-chewing villain who shouldn't be John Voight, but it is. So we're constantly always spouting off lines or whatever. But the entire opening, the entire first scene he's in is first he gets some fish from the river by jamming his spear
Just
into it, and then he's holding
stabs a fucking fish,
and he's
out of
holding the
nowhere.
fish, and what he's doing is literally just a dead fish that he's just shaking to make it look like he just caught it. You know, like when you see people catching fish and they're still flopping around.
Yeah.
It was literally probably just a dead fish that he was physically shaking the
Yeah.
pole to make it look like it was
Just
still
kind
alive.
of just whatever, and then he
Then
starts scaling.
He starts scaling, and as he's scaling it, they're asking him questions. They're like, so he's like, "Oh, what's your name?" He's like, Paul Cerrone. And I was like, "What do you do?" He's like, "Where are you from, Mr. Cerrone?" He's like, "Paraguay." And I said, "Well, what's a?" And he's like, "I was studying for the priest." They started asking questions. Like, "Oh, I studied for the priesthood." And I said, "What's a failed priest doing out here?" And he's like, "Fail? Who says I failed?" He said, I just didn't think that I wanted to get out and see the natural world." And he said that he's like, they were mocking about the failed priesthood thing. And he's like, "So what are you doing now?" And he's like, "I hunt snakes for zoos and collectors." And they're like,
so he's not
like,
Argentinian.
so whatever they
though.
want.
He's not
Well,
Argentinian. He's
They say he is.
Paraguay. Yeah,
He
he's
says
Paraguay.
that's what I'm saying. The point is he's supposed to be Argentinian or whatever, but then he says it's from Paraguay. He says he was studying the priesthood, and they're like mocking him for that. And then he says that he's actually a snake hunter who hunts snakes for zoos and collectors. And she's like, "Oh, poaching," and he's like, "Oh, poaching is illegal." He's like, "Oh, I'm asking people what you're doing here." And then they ask him, and he mentioned how they're trying to do a documentary on the Shimmy Shaman. And he's like, "Oh, the people of the mist." He's like, "I know about the Shimmy Shaman.
Yeah.
I'll take you there."
Well, you know what would have been cool, if this movie was fucking okay. You got the guy who wrote Dick Tracy in Top Gun. How did they not figure this out? If John Voight's going to be in your movie and he's going to play this role 100%, he's got to be one of the guys that are looking for the Shimishama as well. And imagine the whole movie, John Voight's not crazy. His boat just broke down, and he's there. Obviously, this movie wouldn't be as good if he wasn't crazy.
No, that's
I'm
the
just
point.
saying, for this movie to just
Here you
add
go
a
doing
couple
your usual
numbers,
thing.
add a couple numbers to the IMDb scale. It's at 4.8 out of 10 right now. This could have been a solid 6.
That's a travesty.
This could have been a solid 6.2 if they did this. So they take John Voight, right? I just thought of this in my head real quick. It's like they take John Voight and they take him on the boat and stuff, and he's looking for the Shimmer Shama too. No accent, no anything. And he is kind of like I'm trying to think of like Captain Ahab, I guess. He's just like the very like strong-willed, and then they finally find the Shimmer Shama or whatever, and they find out that it's actually just a tribe of snakes. I know it's a
Where
weird.
did you even come up with that?
I just thought of like John Voight not being in this movie as much. That's all I care about at the end of the day.
The reason is that this made it that John Voight made this movie for me. So it's like I can't even think about that blasphemy. That's literally sacrilege.
I mean, okay, all right. Well, let's just keep going because my fantasies about him not being in this movie will not help this podcast at all.
It's not going to because this is reality. You're in reality.
But like
John Voight's reality.
If you're gonna, okay. Well, I've met someone from Argentina before when I went to community college, and she was definitely not. I would say she's a little bit darker than John Voight, but if John Voight's trying to play with the whole skin thing and stuff and whatever, at least tan him up. He looks like fucking pale as shit in this movie.
Doesn't matter.
But it
just
doesn't
gotta
matter.
grease back that ponytail.
You put that as I said, it looks like a fucking rat tail with like a gift ribbon that you would give at Christmas. Like one of those freaking ribbon things that you put on a gift.
Yeah.
It's literally what I thought, and it's gross ass hair.
Love it.
But yeah, and they just kind of notice something's off. He's given that weird smile.
Yeah, the entire time.
Literally, you're just looking at him. There's that one scene, I think it's following that. Yeah, you're doing it right now, where essentially he's like sleeping and he's like got his eyes like halfway closed, and he's doing that weird grin.
Well, yeah, because what happens is, so they hear, they finally find out who he is, and then he offers to take him to see the Shimmy Shaman because they want to, and they're like, oh, whatever, we'll listen to this guy, and so they start heading in that direction where he said it was, where they'd find him. And then we just get a bunch of different weird shots of him acting really creepy. And then what happened was, it was the one part when they were on the boat at night where Stock Girl and Owen Wilson were going to go off to, quote, check the sounds.
Yeah. So,
and they pan over to John Voight, who's literally just lying there, supposed to be sleeping,
but
he's literally just got the...
He looked like he just fucking orgasmed, dude. Honestly, it was the weirdest. Like,
man, that's the same face I make when I climax.
It's fucking terrifying.
So
I don't want to see John Voight make that face ever again. But yeah, so then Owen Wilson and Denise go in the woods to get sounds of the wild.
Quote.
Why didn't they just stand on like the edge of the boat and just record that? I don't get it.
Wasn't it? They were just doing one.
They want to.
Big nasty sex.
As Owen Wilson says directly in this movie, the worst line of dialogue I think I've ever heard in a movie. It's almost like Samurai Cop or like Miami Connection bad. It's essentially like, something about the jungle, it makes me really, really horny. Something like that. And then this is all I can think about. And I was like, it's such a forced line, because in the beginning when we meet Owen Wilson, there seems to be like no chemistry between him and that Denise girl. There's like nothing. It's just they're all working together for this documentary or whatever, and then it gets forced dialogue like halfway through with that bullshit and whatever. And yeah, so they go in the woods and they start making out and shit.
Now here's an important side question: is that when Owen Wilson finally comes, does he go, wow?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, do you think he goes, wow? Do you think I think that's what he says when he finally just finishes with the girl. I think he goes, wow.
That's not something I personally want to think about, but if you want to do some digging on the internet...
I'm asking you a very personal and important question.
Well, you could probably find pictures and videos of it on the internet.
Pictures
so
and
you
videos,
can go ahead.
you think so? I could find that of Owen Wilson?
I mean, there's a thing called Mr. Skin where you can look up...
Mr. Skin?
Yeah, have you ever heard of Mr. Skin?
No.
Mr. Skin is a website literally dedicated to logging all of the nude scenes in movies by females. I don't know if there... I think there is a Mrs. Skin as well.
And you would know this... Why exactly?
It was brought up in a bunch of movies. I know it's been talked about.
That's crazy.
I think it was in Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back, if I remember. There was just a couple instances of it, and I've heard it around. And I thought it was one of those fake websites in movies. You know, they do that sometimes.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Like, you know, like all that kind of like generic, like a lot of like 2000s comedies did that. They would make like generic fake parody websites or whatever. I thought it was fake, and then I looked it up, and it's real. And they actually, like, say you like Jennifer Lopez, you can go through and it'll give you all her movies. It'll literally, you have to pay for it, but it will literally like give you each scene where she's nude, and it's a fucking weird website. But I bet you there's an Owen Wilson one associated with that as well.
Interesting.
He's got, his accent isn't that bad in this movie.
No,
though.
he's very, because
it's very tame.
What happens is that John Voight unhinged his jaw and swallowed all the accents whole, so Owen Wilson had to talk like a normal human being in this one.
Normal, yeah.
Yeah, they go off for some hanky-panky in the dark, and that doesn't go well because between all this, the snake has eaten a panther.
The audience at this point is like, it's going to be an anaconda. It's going to be an anaconda. And they're getting chased.
It's a wild boar.
And it's a wild boar. And of course...
Cerrone shoots it dead straight in the face.
Yep. John Voight with that fucking sniper just shoots it and then brings it on the boat and...
Mateo, we got food for a week. Cut it up.
Yeah, and then he goes from that, and then what? I don't even remember. See, this movie, I just don't remember anything that happens.
It's because each one I pick for you just hate to the point where you can't remember anything, so I gotta hold your hand and carry you through it. It's okay because the snake hunter is here. So after that, it's literally just a rinse and repeat cycle Cerrone being creepy, them catching on to him doing stuff creepy,
And then
slowly people dying off and on.
and
But
then the rope.
before we get there,
Okay, so then while there's that creepiness happening, one of the rope. Why was that rope even hanging off? That was probably
What
obviously planted
What
by.
rope?
So there's one part in the movie which is directly after this with the whole board thing. They're cruising on down the river,
Yeah.
and then there's a rope like hanging off the back of the boat, and it gets caught in the propeller.
Oh yeah.
So I thought personally, what kind of elaborate plan is that? So obviously Mateo was working with what's the dude's name? Cerrone.
Paul Cerrone.
Paul Cerrone. I'm sorry for forgetting his name. But
It's okay. Disrespect.
so Mateo and Cerrone are obviously working together. What?
Spoiling. Wow.
What
Spoiled
the
it.
hell? Why would they force their boat to get almost fucked over so Eric Stoltz can jump in the water? How did they know Eric Stoltz was gonna? What if fucking Owen Wilson wanted to jump in the water? Do you think this was specifically for Eric Stoltz?
Yeah, well, I think it was just whoever they wanted to pick off one by one. I think the only reason, which still doesn't make any sense, because it just doesn't, not supposed to, but I think it's because, remember, at the beginning, on Trejo's boat, which you'll see later, there's a newspaper clipping of the three of them.
Yeah.
Trejo, Cerrone, and Mateo.
Yeah.
So my best guess is, in their shoddy writing, that what they were trying to say is like, the first boat was destroyed with Trejo, so they needed another boat to hunt the snake.
Yeah.
And they probably wanted to have bait and other people and supplies and stuff. So this is why they're tricking these people to pretty much supply everything for them.
I just don't get. So like they.
So I think what that was, it was to incapacitate another person of the crew because he was offering, let me take care of it.
But they didn't really. So Mateo and, well, spoiler, obviously. We're fucking talking about
You
the
did
movie,
it.
So
I didn't do it.
There's going to be spoilers. We're talking
Good
about the
job.
whole fucking plot. So Mateo...
This is we business. You did it.
Yeah, okay. I did it. Okay. So...
this is why we can't commit crimes together, because you'd be telling I was an accomplice when I'm just sitting out in the car waiting for my food.
Like the pizza tonight where I was sitting. You were actually sitting
I
out
sat
in
out
the
in the
car.
car. See?
I
Look
walked
at that.
in and got the pizza.
That's right. Looking like a
So-
bandit.
Oh, of course.
Bandito.
John Voight and Mateo,
Yeah.
they plan to essentially put a wasp into the breathing apparatus or whatever. First of all, I don't know if you know anything about a breathing apparatus. You're not going to be able to. You would notice something when you get into the water. Wow, this is not hitting as well. Like the breath and stuff like that. You would notice it right away that there's a blockage in it and whatever. Why go through all of this just to do that or something like that?
Because they're evil.
I just don't get it. So
Because they're evil.
So Eric Stoltz, something's attacking him. As I said, I was like, I think I was looking at my phone at this point, and I was like, wait, I didn't even see anything. And you're like, well, they didn't show anything. And I was like, okay. So Eric Stoltz gets pulled onto the boat, and then basically a wasp comes out of his mouth, because I guess giant wasps can live in breathing apparatuses underwater. I guess that's a thing. And then they like cut a hole in his neck because he can't breathe. That's also, why couldn't he breathe? Maybe he got stung in his windpipe or something.
The idea was they were putting the wasp in there to sting him, so his neck gets swollen and he can't breathe.
Yeah.
So then he would pop back up and they need to save him. And so saving him was then puncturing a hole into his neck to let him breathe.
Allow him to breathe.
And they put a pen into it.
So then Eric Stoltz literally says, fuck this movie.
Yep.
Fuck your production. And I am going to go take a goddamn nap under the boat, right?
I'm gone. Yep. Because
Well, like I was saying real quick, this whole movie, like how it's designed, they do a lot of shots where they show the whole boat at certain scenes and stuff. There's not enough room for, what is it, like 8 people on this fucking boat?
yeah,
I
there's
think
at
it's 8
least
people.
about,
Yeah. 8 people that are just crashing on this boat somehow. And you think a documentary filmmaking is going to allow that? Like, what the hell is the point?
Don't forget that the shots are always super weird ass Dutch angles where they're they're
I'm
like on
tilt the camera, tilt the fucking camera.
tilt, and it's not even just tilting; it's almost going like 360 in a circle.
Yeah.
and it's just getting some really weird angles in on it.
It was like they taped the camera to a pole and just like a fucking pool skimmer, and then just turned it.
No, they taped a camera to a roulette wheel and just spun it as it went around.
Yeah, as it went. Yeah.
So he can't breathe, so they jam a pen into his neck so he can be put under the deck to recover. And he just pieces out of the movie for like the next 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Then they come across the no, wait, no, hold on.
See, you can't even fucking remember.
No,
this
it's not. I
movie
want to make
either.
sure because you keep you just you like spoiling the movie, so I want to make sure I'm not getting ahead of myself. Yeah, so they first come across this wall, and he's like admiring it. They're all they think it's really sketchy and it's all really sketchy and stuff. And he all of a sudden talks about taking out some dynamite to blow it up,
But
and then
real quick, so there's this wall that they have to get
Yeah.
through, right? Well, after this
because he
scene,
says that here's the because we even so he get what's his name Ginger Boy, he gets injured, and then they're like, oh, we gotta get him to a hospital. So
Yeah.
he offers to so-called the fastest route, but it's the same route he suggested earlier.
But if
and
it's the same route that he suggested earlier, and
Yeah.
later in this film we see his fucking boat crashed on the side, how the hell did they get around this thing in the first place? Because it's just a giant wooden wall. There's
Yep.
no signs of, there's no way of getting around it. They
Yeah.
fucking just grab dynamite and blow it up. How
Yeah.
did his boat fucking jump over the bridge, or what the hell happened?
You're
Obviously.
asking too many questions as usual. Remember, it was because they didn't get to this point yet. He
But
he
obviously
suggested
they
the point.
did, though.
No, remember they at first that he suggested, but they didn't take it because what's his name, Ginger Boy, thought he was bullshitting, so they went a different way.
But later we do see his boat. We see John Voight's boat that he was in with Mateo and Trejo. Remember?
Yeah, there's a different boat. I'm saying is that's
Oh,
because,
it was a different one.
different
I thought it
boat.
was the same boat because there's a picture of three of them holding the snake.
Yeah,
or
oh
whatever.
wait, you're talking about not the same one that Cerrone jumped off of. You're talking about the original one from the beginning of the movie.
Yes, I'm
Oh,
talking
okay.
about Danny Trejo's
Then
boat.
no, that's just a question you don't even have to ask yourself. Because
How
it's
the
just
hell
it's
did
there.
Danny Trejo get through there? There must be different rivers
Must
that
be.
connected or something. I'm thinking
It's crazy.
too much.
It's crazy little
Let's keep
baby
going.
bird.
Let's keep going.
So they're thinking something's off, and he's like, "Oh, we got to get through this wall." So he suggests blowing it up with dynamite.
And
which,
they don't take. I feel like they don't. They think that he's joking. They don't really take him
they
seriously.
don't take it seriously. So him and he takes Gary, and they actually literally blow it up, which unleashes just like a wall of snakes. They go flying everywhere.
Which
and
makes no sense because when they go up there to plant the dynamite, I didn't see any snakes.
not
There
a
was
single snake,
no
except
snakes.
for Owen Wilson being like, "Oh, there's something in the water."
Yeah,
and he's
like
freaking out, but like
because of
not-
the camera. And
yeah.
I was like, yeah, it's the fucking cameraman that's in the water, obviously.
But nothing eludes any snakes. Literally, they blow up the wall, and the snakes are everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's tiny ones, big ones, and then some of my favorite parts of the movie because he starts talking about, oh, babies, they're all babies. Go home to your mother. They're all freaking out, and he's just playing with them, and he's like, "Oh, hi, little baby." And the British guy gets one of my favorite lines in the movie is when he gets his finger bit by the snake, and he's like, "Somebody get this bloody thing up my freaking hand!"
Yeah.
And he grabs the thing, and he's like, "So young. It's so lethal." And he grabs the snake, and then they're like, you knew there were snakes here, didn't you, Cerrone? He's like, "Oh, it's a pleasant surprise." And he's like,
and then that's
home
when
to
he
your mother."
kind of becomes like the captain of the boat.
Well, yeah,
kinda.
because in between it blowing up, for some reason the stuff gets rattled on the ship. They lose their barrels of fuel finally.
Yep.
Which, like the guy in the recap video we watched said, it's like, remember Owen Wilson walks through that water into the wall.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, unless they were super far out, why can't they just pick the barrels out of the water that fell off the side of the
And
boat?
grab it.
They could just
yeah.
literally pick them up, but whatever, who cares?
Yeah.
So they lost the
Thinking too
barrels.
much, yeah.
They lost the barrels, and then there's there's the threat of no fuel. Horror movie.
Yeah.
No fuel, only one left, and so then they start chugging on.
And then they approach that boat.
Yeah,
right?
now they
so
find
this
that-
is where they
yeah.
approach. They approach a boat, and
from the
obviously,
beginning of the movie.
yeah, and Serrano.
Serrano.
What the fuck
Cerrone.
is his name? Cerrone.
There is a Serrano in
Which-
the movie, I know.
He talks. If he talked like a Cerrone, he fucking talks like Scarface throughout this whole movie. I kept telling you
amazing.
that.
I
He's
love it.
talking like a fucking like
Tony Montana.
literally. But yeah, so the boat approaches the boat, which we see from the beginning of the movie, and then Cerrone ends up going first because I feel like he's like, I gotta cover this up because
Yeah.
once he gets
He knows
inside the
what boat it
boat,
is.
yeah, he grabs the picture off the wall which shows Cerrone, Mateo, and Trejo, which I couldn't even tell. When they shown the picture, like I
You couldn't see him? I saw
you
him.
couldn't see shit on that picture.
Was
couldn't-
it because you couldn't or you just didn't want to? Because by then you're already there.
Well, a lot of the times, I don't know about you, but when I read a fucking newspaper, I kind of like to read the title of it, but it was in Spanish, so I didn't really understand what it said. Not only that, the picture itself is just kind of blurry, and I couldn't
I
really
hate
see.
reading, man.
Yeah, but I
Literacy
usually
is awful.
you just look at pictures. See, I'm the kind of guy that tries to read, and I kept trying to read it when they kept showing it, and it just didn't work out. But
Well, so he wants to hide the evidence.
Cerrone literally like grabs the picture. Does he throw it on the ground? Does
No,
he hold
crumples it and takes it with
and
him.
takes it. Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
we see it at the end.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and then yeah. So it's Cerrone, Mateo, and who's
Ice
the other
Cube.
one? Ice Cube.
Because
okay.
he comes with, he's like, oh, I'll get
He
this
wants
on
to film
film.
it. Yep.
Mhm.
That's like his only thing in this
Yeah,
movie is
I
just to
want
film everything.
So Cerrone and then Ice Cube, they hop off first after Cerrone asks his help to carry this treasure chest.
Yeah.
And he tells Mateo to get his ass off the boat, and Mateo just like slips off of it for like no reason, but whatever. He slips off the boat. He's left behind for a second, and in that split second, the Anaconda attacks him.
First kill of the movie besides Trejo,
Yeah,
but
first
Trejo,
on screen
and
kill of
killed
the movie,
by an anaconda. Yeah.
which it's his CGI snake body wraps around him and grabs him.
It looks okay for today's standards. It's not bad. In late '90s, that looks kind of dope.
For late '90s, CGI wasn't too bad. But then you have the animatronic head.
Yeah.
It kills him, snaps his neck, kills him, and they get some shots. And they're like, oh, it's kind of like they're wondering what's wrong with Mateo, whatever. But they get back on the boat, and Cerrone starts looking through his chest, and I'm like, oh, where's Mateo? And he's like, oh, he was just there a minute ago or whatever. So they're freaking out about that, and Cerrone does not give a shit at all.
Oh no,
and
he doesn't. He's disposable, which is crazy because Mateo helped him essentially get this boat,
everything, get all the stuff he needs. But in this, Cerrone takes out a snakeskin and unravels it to reveal his true intentions, which is he's been hunting these giant snakes in the Anaconda.
Mm-hmm.
In the movie Anaconda, he's been hunting the Anaconda, and now they finally realize what he's all about. But they think,
and then he kind of like dupes them where he's like, well, if you guys help me get this Anaconda, because we don't know the motive, like the audience doesn't know the motive. Why does he want this Anaconda? I thought it was for revenge, like it killed his family or something.
No.
But no, then you find out he just wants it for money.
Yeah.
But this whole scene, basically he dupes them and says, if you want to get out alive, you got to help me hunt the Anaconda.
Well, yeah, because remember what happens, he's been working on Gary, so the next scene is that they're like, oh, we'll wait for Mateo, thinking that he might be alive for some reason, which is kind of stupid because there's really no reason why the guy wouldn't just come back to the ship if he was alive, but whatever. So they camp out for the night. Cerrone takes the opportunity to talk to Gary, Owen Wilson's character, about helping him out, making a lot of money, and because Owen's an idiot,
well,
he goes along with him.
Exactly, and like I thought about too, when it came down to that, I also thought, okay, well, they want to make Owen Wilson a very one-dimensional character, and by that I mean he only cares about sex. He only cares about money.
Yep.
I think there's that one scene where he's rolling up a joint when they're all listening to that like Bob Marley kind of music.
Didn't see that, but I just remember him smoking.
I swear,
I thought it was
yeah.
just a cigarette. But
Yeah,
probably.
Think,
it looks like a stoner.
If they're listening to reggae, yeah, they're definitely getting
You're
high.
right.
I think that's it though. You got drugs, you got money, and you've got fucking sex and greed, and now all of that shit in between. It is such a stupid screenplay choice of like making him because it. If anything, don't make Owen Wilson be that guy. Pick someone slimier and grosser to be the guy that would work with him.
But nah, I don't think
it's such an awkward combo. John Voight and fucking Owen Wilson.
But then think about it though. You're saying that from now, knowing who Owen Wilson is as an actor as he goes throughout the years or whatever crap he makes.
Yeah.
But at the point in 97, he didn't make anything really.
That's true.
So,
but like when you look at him, you don't look like a guy who's obsessed with money, drugs, sex.
No, but you could look at him as an idiot who's easily manipulated too.
That actually, you're right. That is a great
easily manipulated.
Reason. Yeah.
So that's what the point is that he's Gary. Hey, Gary.
Yeah, because when he says $1 million or whatever, his face like
lights
blows up. Yeah. Okay.
So he recruits Gary. They finally shove off because Mateo, he's dead. He's DED, which. He's super dead. That isn't clear.
And then the night comes, and then this is another Anaconda scene.
But first it's revealed.
What's before that?
Well, before that is Cerrone revealing how now he's going to do it by force because they realize that he's been being somewhat diplomatic, but now finally it's revealed that he's taken over the ship. He's got a gun because Ice Cube finally was about to throw him off, and he pulls out his gun. He's like, I don't want to do this here, people. Like, leave me no choice. And then he's like, oh, Gary. And Gary's, he agrees with him and lets him know that now they're going to hunt this snake. They're going to catch it. And they're going to film it.
I was this documentary filming this movie, and this guy comes on our boat, and he knows so much about, like, anacondas and everything in the wild, and he seems like a very like, you know, very, I don't know, he just seems like somebody that I would kind of trust. I would kind of give, maybe that's just me, but I would kind of give over the control because Mateo's dead, who was kind of driving the boat. Well, let's give it to fucking John Voight. Even though he's semi-crazy, I would definitely, like, be right behind him saying, let's go fucking find these anacondas and do this and whatever. Because I'm in the middle of the Amazon. I have no choice.
Yeah.
Like, it gives this false hope to, like, Ice Cube and to even J-Lo the same way, where, like, it's this false hope of they're going to be in control and they're going to find their way out.
Yeah.
No, you fucking don't. You came to the Amazon. You have no clue what this is like.
No, yeah, if I was, well, because the way it's pretty much left when you think, like, you want to get actually, like AC would with just making stuff up in his head about things you do.
Yeah.
Well, I would say it is weird because if I was in my place, I most likely would go with a snake hunter if I knew that there was these giant ass snakes out there.
If you
that were
saw
gonna make
those
if I
fucking
saw
huge
giant
things.
snakes and I knew that they could just come onto the boat and kill us, I'd be probably with the snake hunter on killing the snakes. So that's just me, but
Even though, even if he's batshit and crazy and has a
I-
horrible fucking accent, I'd still be behind him
most
100%.
likely. I mean, I trust the guys at my local convenience store a lot. So
So there you
know,
go.
foreign accents.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I was like, where's he going with this? And I was like, oh,
No,
okay.
I was trying to, find a good way to make it easy for you to follow along, but yeah.
Okay. Well, because I used to work at a convenience store, so I was like, wait, where's this?
yeah,
this
like,
going?
foreign accents, untrustworthy.
Ginger hair kind of thing.
All depends.
So
y-
at night,
yeah, and
right?
then, well, they finally now he grabs the monkey, and by grab I mean he shoots it dead,
kills a
uses
monkey
it for bait, and he it's finally coming together, and he gets it. He gets the snake to take the bait, and things are going pretty well. He gets it moving, but then he tries to get the tranquilizer gun in, and through all that, then the snake gets free, and now it's time for people dead time. And that in the scuffle, people are flying all over the place. The boat's getting hit. We finally there we go. We finally see the snake in all of its actual, like, more glory of it, flailing around and the giant animatronic
the
snake.
puppet looks good, like the puppet snake or whatever. It looks like
Animatronic,
on
yeah.
caliber with like Jurassic Park, kind of like. I mean, it kind of looks a little goofy in the eyes, but like the scales, like there were shots where it shows like the side of the snake and shit. I'm like, damn, that looks really nice.
It's more like the like straight on shots where the eyes are kind of like
that's awkward. It just looks like a fake little puppet, but
so in the scuffle, the girl, what's her name, stock girl, she gets knocked over side.
Denise.
Yeah, she gets knocked over the side, and Gary comes to his senses and goes to rescue her.
Yep.
And then he's grabbed finally.
Gary is finally killed.
Yeah, Gary is killed. R.I.P. Gary.
He gets devoured, and then we get this shot under the water of the snake with Gary inside the snake.
With like this, being eaten.
He looks like he's a fucking mummy, dude. He's like being pressed against like the scales of the skin, so you just see his face and everything. And
AC laughs. He had a nice big chuckle with that.
That was goofy. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's where I was like, this movie is definitely B movie, because for like the first half, it feels like a serious action, kind of like a thriller kind of too. It feels suspenseful. It feels whatever. I mean, John Voight obviously ruins the mood of the whole movie. I know it's contrarian to what you believe.
Well, it ruins it for you because you didn't see it or you haven't seen it, so you were wondering if it's gonna get better.
Yeah.
Me already knowing that this movie's going nowhere else. John Voight saves it, so it's like that's
he does. But in the beginning, like I said, like the first half of the movie, it feels kind of serious and whatever. But then when I saw this
off the rails.
fucking puppet show of Owen Wilson being pressed against a snake, and it just was, I was just laughing.
Then comes one of my other favorite scenes is when Stock Girl mourning the death of Gary. Cerrone comes over with some leaves, and he starts saying Catholic prayer, and he's like, in the name of my Father, dearly departed, we love him, amen, and the Spirit Sanctus, no Patri Filii Spiritus Sanctus, and he's just throwing stuff out on the side of the water.
Just being a douchebag.
A total
honestly.
douche. Oh, God, I love it.
And that girl gets pissed off at him, and then that's when they conspire to eventually try to tie him up and whatever. And they do.
Get him.
So J-Lo fucking, as you said,
uses her Latina.
The worst horror movie scene within this movie is J-Lo kind of like
tries to seducing.
Cerrone. Yeah, I was gonna say striptease, but there's really no.
It's seduce. She's just trying to straight up seduce him. God, if it would have been a striptease, it would have been more gross.
That's what I said. I said, "Is she get naked in this movie?" And you're like, "No," and I was like, "Fuck." Damn. But
No,
yeah.
if you want that, go see Hustlers. I think she gets pretty
Is
naked
she
in that one.
In that one. But yeah, so then she basically seduces John Voight. Cerrone. Seduces Cerrone, and I literally almost forgot it, and then I was like, oh, okay, that's it. Seduces Cerrone, who is just standing at the top, like where Mateo was, like the whole movie, like the driver.
The bridge. You're talking about right, the captain. That's where you
Yeah.
actually steer the boat.
Where the captain is and stuff like that. And he's up there, and she's like, well, this film that I wanted to film was supposed to be my breakthrough film and whatever, and maybe I can film you getting the anaconda or whatever, and just starts putting her hands on him, kisses him.
Gross.
Then fucking Ice Cube comes out of nowhere.
Trying to get him, and
him.
He's smart, so he
knows. His eyes are... He's the kind of dude who his eyes are open if he's kissing you.
Yeah.
I feel like he's just...
God, that's really creepy.
Isn't that just weird? Just like keeps the eyes open and looks around. I actually did that with my first girlfriend. I just tested it. I remember we were in the backyard and I fucking just kissed her and kept my eyes open just to see if she kept her eyes open.
And
it's something you do when you're a kid. He's doing this all the time.
Did she open her eyes at all?
No, not at all.
Because we don't do that. Like, I've done that before just to test the same thing.
Yeah, just
because
you want to know.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, thank God. But I'm like, in this moment, if she opened her eyes for some reason, that'd be so really awkward. Weird and creepy. Mm-hmm. So I know
but
exactly
that's
what
like something
about,
a 16-year-old does, and I feel like Cerrone does this open all the time. Yep. And out of the corner of his eye, sees Ice Cube, and then he kisses her one more time.
Yeah, that's the best part.
J-Lo.
Yeah. After saying that he knew what it was, and he gave her another kiss just to steal one more. I'm like, oh my God,
just one more to go, just grab and go, and then the British guy comes behind him, bashes him
with a golf club.
Yep,
because he wasn't expecting that.
Of course, the rich man with the golf club, listening to classical music.
They get the best of him. Finally tie him up, and then they just start just driving off into God knows where.
So instead of fucking I thought they were gonna tie him up and then throw him into the water.
Oh, that's what Ice Tray, he said that they should do. Is that just throw him in the water, and then for she didn't even give a good reason. No. She was like, oh no, we'll just tie him up. There's
nothing.
Really no reason.
You could have said like, we need him because we don't know how to get out of here.
Anything. She just said no. Whatever. She was just like, no, we're not going to do that.
No. So he gets tied up and he's sitting there, and then they eventually come to that waterfall, correct?
Yep, waterfall.
So so they kind of like crash into this waterfall. They get stuck because the water is too shallow and all this kind of shit. And they get off the boat to tie in. It is Ice Cube, it is British guy,
and Jennifer Lopez
and J-Lo. They're all trying to tie this boat up so they can kind of like, I guess it would be like pulling it out. I was kind of confused why they were really making clear.
I guess the idea was to pull it out by tying it to some trees and rocks.
Some trees that are like in the water, and then
I guess that doesn't really make any sense.
Doesn't make sense at all.
But while this is happening, then you've got Stock Girl who's coming up to Cerrone, who's tied up for vengeance.
Yep.
And they exchange a little dialogue until Cerrone just literally leaps from like the ground.
Well, because she's gonna kill him. Yeah, she literally has a knife and is gonna kill him. It was actually a pretty cool screenwriting thing. Brings the knife to kill him. He
literally jumps up in the air and grabs her by the neck with his legs
and chokes
the life out of her.
Yeah, which is kind of cool because then he uses that knife to break out. Yeah. I thought that was kind of cool, like how they introduced the knife and everything, because Denise is pissed because he was being a douche about Owen Wilson, Gary. So then that happens, and he, what's that dude's name? Westridge. The British guy, he ended up chased by the Anaconda.
Yeah, the Anaconda
comes out of nowhere, just like a
usual.
would.
Oh, like a wood, because it's a horror movie, man.
Exactly.
Come on.
Comes out of nowhere and then chases him up this like waterfall, and
he tries to distract the snake from attacking
basically
the boat again,
just pushes it away and whatever, so J-Lo and Ice Cube can get out of the water and everything. And then, it chases him up there. Of course, he dies. He ends up getting killed and all this kind of shit. And I think then it goes back to the boat. Ice Cube and J-Lo get back on the boat, and then we find out that
Cerrone's okay. So then they get into a fight. They're trying to shoot him.
Yeah,
he's trying to kill them.
She aims at him and doesn't do anything.
Doesn't even shoot once. Eventually, he gets the upper hand until Professor Ginger comes out and stabs him in the back with the tranquilizer. Finally comes back into the movie, and then
now they killed the snake when Carrie died, correct? Because I don't think we talked.
No, actually,
or was that
right
this
here,
part?
No, so let's talk about right then. As they were trying to get out, the snake So let's actually we'll rewind a little bit.
Okay.
The stock chick, she gets killed. Cerrone pushes her body out of the water,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's just in the water. Ice cube, ice tray. He's fridge box. He's trying to get back to the boat, and they get back to the boat. He finds the dead body of Stock Girl, and as it's happening, then the snake wraps around him. J-Lo's already in the boat,
Okay.
and he's trying to cling to life or whatever, and for some reason the snake, while already on ice tray, ice box there,
Mm-hmm.
the snake grabs dead girl and starts to try to eat her or whatever, and that doesn't really work. So then she finally has the gun, and then she shoots the snake dead 3 times without even reloading a shot, and it's a bolt action rifle. So she shoots
what's cool screenplay thing right here is it actually wakes up our boy Eric Stoltz, who's just sleeping off this movie, wakes him up, and they get in a scuffle and everything.
But the snake's dead. This one, it just got shot in the face.
So
3 times.
Shoots it 3 times. It's
eyes
dead.
popping out. It's dead.
Wakes up Stoltz, and I was like, this is kind of cool screenwriting. Stoltz comes from behind because it's like he's about Cerrone's about to kill who was it?
Both of them.
Both of them. Yeah,
they were fighting. He stabbed the ice box in the leg.
Yep.
And they're about to he's about to kill them both, and then he gets stabbed in the back by Commander Ginger.
It's with a tranquilizer dart or whatever.
Earlier.
And then he just falls off the boat and whatever. First of all, you get a tranquilizer in your body and you get thrown off a fucking boat into water, you're drowning. Hands down. There's no way that you can just somehow the poison or the tranquilizer stuff just leaves your body. That's not a thing. Your fucking body is comatose, and you're being thrown into a disgusting ass water that has those things that he was talking about in the beginning. There's these little mini catfish that can go up your fucking dick hole and fucking essentially just fucking get stuck to you. All this gross shit, because you've heard stories of the Amazon of people peeing in it and then little things go up it.
Swim up there. Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
No, thank you.
There's no way that John Voight is just going in that water. And first of all, he's fucking unconscious and all this shit as well. And he just comes back at the end, which I'm running a little bit ahead of myself. So from there, they get the boat going.
Boat goes
away. They go down a little bit down the stream, a little bit more, and they approach this giant
factory type thing. They never actually explain what it is, but it's a giant factory.
It's a weird
building setting. It's huge, factory. Abandoned. Signs of a struggle of something had happened or whatever. It was maybe we'll find some fuel here, and
they just keep talking about that fuel,
baby. So
much
much fuel. So they finally get in there, and they're looking around. They find the fuel, and in between finding the fuel, then Cerrone comes out of nowhere and pistol whips them, rifle butts them both.
Yep.
And knocks them unconscious.
And then wraps them around with snakeskin, the classic. It reminded me of something out of a Batman movie or something. Just kind of
Oh yeah.
Damsel in distress kind of thing.
Well, he's going to use him as bait. He goes and drains a bunch of monkeys of their blood.
We don't know where he got these monkeys from. They're just random monkeys.
And there's really actually no reason to even do that because these snakes will be over here eventually anyways.
Oh, 100%.
And they're just sitting there. So whatever. But
yeah, because he says they can sense warm bodies.
Right. So the whole, splash him with blood was really just overkill, but whatever. So
just movie
he splashed him with monkey blood.
You were about to say movie stuff.
Movie stuff.
Just to get the movie going.
He throws a bunch of monkey blood on him. Then, holds him there, waits. Eventually, the snake shows up, and it's revealed that he had him in this giant net. He's trying to catch the snake with them in it. That fails. Then he tries to escape, and then the snake finally gets Cerrone, and then wraps around him, and then eats him, and we get a nice POV shot of Cerrone's body going through the snake.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. I was like, oh my god, this is not needed. But then at the end of the day, it's kind of cool. It's pretty much the view of from his stomach downward, the snake's stomach,
going up actually out of his mouth.
Yeah,
so you can the stomach looking up out of his mouth,
which is kind of a cool, ambitious shot to do. But. For this kind of movie,
so Cerrone, he finally meets his Surrend, and after he like that, and so then
I don't actually.
Yeah, you did. No. Don't even act like that. You love all this stuff. So then J-Lo and Fridge Box try to get away, and then the snake is back in action again because the Cerrone wasn't enough.
And then it becomes like a Scooby-Doo thing. They're running through doors
chasing.
and shit.
They're getting chased. Ice Tray, slaps a pickaxe through its tail to try to catch it.
While she's climbing up this giant ladder of a smokestack.
In between, I guess, which is such a throwaway shot, the whole point of those snakes in the one shot was to say that this is the snake's nest.
Yeah.
And that's why it was
just a bunch of
because
snakes.
The snake pops in and regurgitates Cerrone's body back up, who even in death winks at Jennifer Lopez.
See, that's where it's B movie like right there, dude.
It literally winks at Jennifer Lopez as she's running away, and then so finally they're like, oh, well, there's all this fuel, let's blow them up and whatever. And so she goes up the tippy top of the chimney. They finally get it. The whole thing explodes. See, this is like, there's other stuff that like irritates you, but this always got me when I've seen this movie before. Literally, the whole thing blows up, and like out of a cartoon, the snake is flying in the air, on fire. Not like exploded like into a bunch of pieces of a snake as it would. It flew in the air on fire into the water below, where she's on a dock, and it pops up and it's just literally just the animatronics on fire. So this is the final shot, obviously, that they were using this animatronic for because they lit it on fire.
Yeah.
So it was on fire, and it was just like,
and it goes in the water,
and then it slowly goes. I was like, oh shit, it's all over, thank God.
Yeah.
And then sure enough, no, because for some reason it's alive, so it pops back
it
up
pops
again
through like
through the
boat,
deck
or the deck of the
through
boat.
the deck.
Yeah.
Finally, Icebox runs and grabs an axe and starts beating the shit out of it, and to the point until it finally just drives it right into the head, and it's dead.
Yep.
DED dead.
Yep.
Finally.
And then they meet the Shimishara.
No, remember first they go back and find out what's his
There's
name.
more? What are you talking about?
First they go back on the boat, and what's his name is okay. They're fixing him up.
Oh, yeah.
They're fixing Ginger Boy up.
Well, yeah.
Gingerbread Man.
Well, yeah,
And
because
then
he passed out for some reason.
No,
after
because
he stabbed the dude.
because he stabbed Cerrone, and then Cerrone grabbed him by the neck, and he started bleeding again.
I missed that. I was tuned out at that point.
He was grabbing him. You could see when he was grabbing him, the blood started seeping out of his neck again.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he passed out.
Oh, okay.
So they get back to the boat. He's awake again. They start patching him up, and then the next series of shots is them going down the river, which they never explained if they got the fuel. All right, no, they said it's time to get some fuel.
Yeah,
so
they
whatever.
do.
So they get on the boat. They said, oh, it's time to fuel it up, and they're going. And all of a sudden, as they're patching up Commander Redhead, they come across the Shimmy Shaman. After all this, after all of it, it was proven that Cerrone was right, that they were up there. And sure enough, the Shimmy Shaman, a bunch of naked titty flying, sandbagging tribal people that actually don't murder them dead for coming into their territory.
I thought it was gonna be like Indiana Jones, and they were just gonna get killed. You get shot by arrows and shit like that.
No.
But then from here, it gets to a shot of them boating in the sunset. And it was like this weird pause because there was nothing happening, and I was like, I went to you, and I'm like, is this the end of the movie? And you're like, just wait. You literally said, just wait, and then the credits popped up.
Yep.
And it was the end. I was like, well, that was the worst ending. The worst ending I've ever seen in a movie.
Oh, come on. We've seen worse than that.
I don't know. I mean,
remember that home video you made?
I mean, it's just basic. Funny, but it's just basically going from like action scene to this to action scene to this and then it's just, I don't know, the pacing at the end was kind of weird. It felt like it was cut off because it was so rushed. Right after they kill the Anaconda, they see the shimmer and then it ends in like 5 minutes. That's it. Such a quick ending. But all right, well, let's talk.
Well, please give me some of your thoughts, your hatred, your love.
Well,
lay it
100%. So this movie to me has always been, because being a horror hound, and I will talk about it every single fucking episode, has always been recommended to me because within horror, a lot of the times, there's different subgenres and shit like that. Yeah. One subgenre that I'm personally not a fan of are these kind of movies. Not only, it's not the B movie side of it, but the monster side of it, where they take an animal.
Yeah.
Started with Jaws. Well, Jaws was one of the biggest ones. Yeah. Take an animal, make it scary, and then proceed to make franchise and movies about them and all that kind of stuff. So I've heard about Anacondas, and I do remember seeing the second one as a kid on the Sci-Fi Channel, and I did think that was genuinely scary at parts and stuff like that. This one, though, I would say at the end of the day, I mean, we'll rate it after we talk about this, but at the end of the day,
want your thoughts.
At the end of the day, I think it was fun. There were some parts that were really fun. I think that it was a little over the top and very B-movie-ish, and I think that's what they're going for. When I actually thought about it, a couple weeks ago, we did Slumber Party Massacre 2.
Yeah.
And I did some research on it, and apparently that was supposed... Like, I noticed in the episode, we were kind of, like, taking it serious. Like, we were kind of thinking that this movie was supposed to be a serious movie.
Yeah.
Apparently that movie... There's a lot of subgenres, like B-movies and shit, that are, like, supposed to be be goofy and supposed to be whatever.
Are you sure though? I mean,
Slumber Party Massacre 2, I feel
Like,
like that
really-
movie was not really supposed to be that serious, and I think it was supposed to be goony. But something
but
like
it still
this,
sucked though. It still
well,
sucked
of
big
course
balls.
it did. But something like this, where it's a B movie and it kind of takes itself seriously, because like we found out, it actually did sell pretty well. It was
Yeah, so on a $45 million budget, it made $136 million worldwide,
Wow.
which is the
and
best.
it was at number 1 for a couple weeks.
Yeah, that's
and
what they said. But really, rule of thumb is you want to make your budget back, but best thing to do is twice. The
Mhm.
budget was 45. Even just making 85, 90 million would have been enough, but they went
Exactly.
over that. So
But this was a really nice film in the sense of it being like a B movie, but it was also a blockbuster with a bunch of like popular stars in it.
yeah,
So it was a weird combo of things, but at the end of the day, I think this movie was pretty fun. Like, it was, if you don't take it too seriously, if you're just looking to have fun and whatever, it is. Though I will say my number one problem about this movie is it's so fucking slow, dude. The intro takes forever to get going. Also, that ending scene. So, as we were talking about earlier, when J-Lo and Ice Cube get to this weird, like, factory place or whatever,
yeah.
it is, like, the slowest and the most boring, like, walk up. I was like, dude, how long? Is it taking them 10 minutes to get to the... They're literally, if you guys watch that scene, I think it's literally, like, 3 or 4 minutes of them just walking from the boat up to the snake thing, the snake layer or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just not needed. This movie could have definitely been like an hour and 20 minutes instead of an hour and 30. Like,
Would that really have changed it though? Because I feel like even at an hour and 30 minutes is not that long.
No,
And
but
I
if
feel like
you go,
you were tortured.
well, if you go from all this crazy cool action and all this kind of shit and horror and whatever, and then cut to them just like slowly walking, and the fact that fucking Ice Cube is walking after he got stabbed, and I think it was
In
like
the
the
leg.
top of the kneecap,
Right in
legs.
the kneecap. Yeah.
Right by the right there. I was like, how the hell is he walking up there?
Don't
There's
forget, as I
just-
told you, he also had the bolt action rifle. He never reloaded. Or,
yeah.
Granted, it's a movie, so you don't know when exactly he could have grabbed ammo, but they never are seen reloading this gun.
Shoots it 3 times in a row, no reloading
No
on a
reloading.
bolt action rifle.
And then he just holds on to it like without even reloading it.
That's
at all.
movie stuff, though. A lot of the times they don't give a shit about that. But there are people like script supervisors who literally get paid to figure out the continuity. That one scene as well, where our boy Owen Wilson's sitting there with those big goofy headphones or whatever, and it's like the same shot, and then it cuts to basically the same shot, but just a little bit slightly to the left, and then he's got no fucking headphones.
Yeah, the headphones are gone.
The continuity of this movie, it really, maybe they left it in because it's like a B movie, but it was really B movie-ish. And I don't know, at the end of the day, it's fun. I don't know if I'd recommend it 100%. It's more of like, if it's on at like 2 a.m. at night, like this is definitely, we should have watched, this is like a midnight movie right here. Like
Yeah.
we should have waited till the sun went down to watch this. But yeah, at the end of the day, it was fun. And I think that like you bringing it to this program honestly was a great idea, because I don't think I've ever seen an actor that I do hate more now than Jon Voight. I'm sorry. He is
Wow.
absolutely terrible, and this movie just solidified it for me. I never really liked him to begin with.
You don't like him as he's a great actor, man.
I always thought he was really half-assed in everything that he did. I always
Wow.
thought
I don't know, you're being honest. Yeah, wow.
I mean, the
always
one I
thought
do
he was a
like
good
him in
actor.
is that National Treasure.
You're
He's the
talking about
grandpa.
him being Nicolas Cage's dad.
I do like that, and I think that is a good role with him. Probably because he's not doing much, and he's kind
Wow,
of
that's
whatever.
crazy.
But never really liked him.
Okay.
But how about you rewatching this for like does it
fourth
still
time.
hold up?
I literally showed this to a girl I was seeing.
Really?
I'm not even kidding. It was
You were seeing,
were
because
seeing.
not anymore.
It was because she was taken in by the Shimmy Shaman.
The Shimmer Shammer.
See, again, like I said, I have some nostalgia from this. One, because I remember vaguely seeing this when I was a kid, and then when I got in my current friend group that's out of town, who I visit all the time, we're always making dumbass references to just like the most obscure things. And one of my favorite things to do is the whole Cerrone thing of making comments in his voice and everything else. And so that's what makes the movie for me. I mean, rewatching it, it's a bad movie and it sucks. But things that are cool, like I said, are that production value. The music's pretty good. The cinematography is not bad either.
Yeah, and
The sets and
I
stuff.
looked
It's
up
not
the dude who did the cinematography actually worked on a lot of major movies, so that
So
makes
that's
sense.
that's
It
good.
was a Hollywood movie, pretty
Yeah.
much. It's a very good Hollywood movie in that sense. But continue.
So like that kind of stuff is on the good. The idea of using snakes, I think, is good because snakes are definitely can be freaky when you think about the idea of a giant ass snake, like a huge one. That's creepy, and like all that stuff. The animatronics is good. I like that. I always am a good fan of practical effects.
Of course.
And then the bad is, of course, paper thin characters, reasoning, dialogue, writing. But then again, because I just think it's so bad and goofy to me. Like literally, John Voight saves this movie to me because I already know it's garbage.
It's already
And so-
the premise of it is already garbage.
Yeah, so that's why it's like for you, it's like, oh, you're hoping that it'll be better,
I
but it's
wanted
not.
it to be.
It's not. That's like me. I already knew what was
Yeah.
you were in store for. So that's why I love the Voight thing, is because it's so over the top with every stupid expression on his face, every line he delivers. It's gold to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the whole like I wouldn't be surprised if the pacing was because the director wanted to have his own Jaws thing, where it was like slow building, then the monster, monster being then the creature, and back to slow. But there's a difference between like suspenseful, slow building, slow burning to something like quick and powerful. Now back to slow again, like the cadence.
There's a pace.
Yeah, there's a pace. That's fine, but this isn't the case. It's more of like it was just boring as shit, and then something happens, and then back to boring as shit. Like I said, I hold Pulse Run very close to my heart, and my buddy Rashad told me a story about how one of his buddies actually got to meet John Voight and asked him about Anaconda.
Really?
And he was actually cool enough to be just doing lines from Anaconda in the Paul Cerrone voice to him. And I'm like, I would have been dying. I would have loved that. Oh, my God. So I do enjoy seeing this movie and watching it, not on a regular basis, but because, like I said, strictly because of John Voight. Because it's just an example of things that shouldn't be in movies, but they are.
Yeah.
So should be called a blessing.
Absolutely. I think he was a fun part of this movie, and maybe I need to go back and rewatch it. I always just feel uncomfortable around John Voight. It's a weird thing to me.
Where did he touch you? What's the problem?
It just feels like he's just some creepy dude who just kind of, I don't know, it just gives me a weird vibe. But I want to just chime in.
Do you know who he is?
Who, John Voight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know who his daughter is?
No. Oh, is it Nicole Richie? No, who is it?
Angelina Jolie.
Yes, that's who it is. That's so weird. But I was going to say,
they were estranged for many years.
You were saying about how the cinematography and stuff was good.
Yeah.
The director of photography as well. Actually, it would be the cinematographer. Cinematographer of this movie was the director of photography on Rocky 2, 3, 4, The Godfather, Jaws.
There you go.
So
right there.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
simple as it, because
you had some good people behind.
There was the same kind of shots in Jaws, same kind of stuff, because it's all about that playing off of familiar, shots and atmosphere. Because that's the atmosphere is ultimately when you're dealing with monster or creature movies, the creatures are hunting people almost always. Yep. That's when it's horror and it's a creature or it's an animal, it's always they're hunting the people. So, who was like the granddaddy of pretty much all those was Jaws, like a good one. I mean, creature movies have been around for
100%
decades, but like the real suspenseful, like the real thriller was Jaws, and whenever after that. So
now it's time to give it the rating, of course.
The bad to the bone.
Exactly, the bad to the bone. Okay, you call it the bad to the bone, or
I said but I think bad to the bone sounds better.
Bad ability. I like the bad to the bone scale. Yeah, all right. Well, we'll do it through here.
Righteous.
I mean, it's my first time watching it, obviously, but I actually want you to go first.
Me?
This time around.
Well, what I would say is it's pretty much in between, because remember, we got a 1 through 4 system here. So for me, it's in between 3 and a 4. So I would say it's a 3.5 because...
Explain.
It's enjoyable to me. It's watchable to me. It is so good. Sorry, it is so bad that it is good. And I'd watch it again because of how bad it is alone. Now, would I watch it all the time by myself? Not really, because I'm to a point now where I've seen enough where I could just reference it and make fun of it, or even watch clips like on my phone of like the scenes that I actually like making fun of the most. But would I just want to like watch this by myself all the time? No. I'd rather, like, if I had friends that either never seen it or were just like, hey, let's watch a crappy movie, I'd throw this on.
Okay.
So that's why it's like, I think it's enjoyable, I think it's watchable, and I think it's all of the things, but it's not like it's just a solid 4 because I wouldn't also just watch it by myself, like, all the time. Like, if it was, say if I hadn't seen it, say if I don't go and see it for, like, months or maybe a year, then maybe I would see it by myself. But for the most part, I've seen enough myself to I'd wait until I had, like, a good viewing party or viewing partner.
Well,
So 3.5.
yeah, and I'm a good option. Obviously,
Exactly.
make me
You're the
suffer.
perfect victim. What do you point at?
I was looking at your movies and I'm like, do you have it? Do you have Anaconda
No,
on
sadly I
DVD?
don't. I
No?
want to have it on DVD because that's something I need to.
Yeah, look it up. It's probably dirt
Like
cheap.
$5.
No, probably cheaper than that. It's like $2 on eBay or something.
There was some great places around in the malls that had the sections where you could buy movies for really
Yes.
bucks.
The antique places?
Yeah, there's a couple. There was like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
And they had it. Well, at first it was horribly organized. There was no organization, but
Yeah.
they finally went through it and have little post-it notes of each
Yep.
one. But that's
what you're
great
talking
because
about.
literally some of those over there you see are from that, and they're like $1,
Mhm.
$2.
Now that's crazy to me. Like a lot of antique stores actually carry DVDs because DVDs are becoming antiques nowadays.
They
Which is
really are,
a
which
weird
really
thing.
bothers me because I love
Yeah.
physical DVDs. I don't like the whole virtual everything.
Yeah, it's
So-
nice once in a while where we could have just threw it on and we didn't
Yeah.
have to worry about it. But I don't think anyone should own Anaconda on a DVD.
Well, that's
You
where
know
you're
what'd be
wrong,
cool
so-
though? Speaking of it, if you got like a giant shelf, like I mean, obviously,
Yeah, I got those over there.
it's cool. Like you got those 3 cool shelves or whatever. My dream though, like one of my dreams is to have in my house like a whole room just wall to wall movies where you can
Yeah, it'd
walk
be
in
cool.
like a video
Yeah.
store and just pick out.
Like a library,
Yeah, essentially.
a vault,
So
a movie vault.
never seen it.
No, I'm saying like a movie vault,
a movie
like an
vault.
actual
I thought
movie
you were talking
vault.
about a movie called like. 'Cause
No.
that sounds like a Sylvester Stallone movie.
Probably,
or something.
there's probably some crap
they have
movie
to
called
break
movie
into
vault,
it.
but no, for real, I think like having like if you had the money, I would tell you like a full up straight like vault, like where you had to open up like a fake lock to open the door, and there's all the movies that I got.
and shit.
Yeah.
I bet you Tarantino has some shit like that. But
What,
okay,
you mean like hidden behind like statues of feet?
just feet
Yeah.
everywhere. Yeah,
that's
obviously.
gross. All right, so lay it on me.
Okay, so of course we have the scale 1 through 4. 4 being I'd want to watch it again over and over again. 1 being unwatchable.
Just do your worst. Give me the real,
I'm gonna
real
say
deal.
like a 1.5.
Oh my god!
I am in the middle of
Wow, you
straight
suck.
bad, unwatchable, mixed
You
with meh.
suck.
Didn't really like it or love
Damn.
it or hate it.
Damn, I'm
I
gonna
say
remember
this.
this.
I say this, like I said, it's a fun movie. Okay, it's a fun movie, but I would not rewatch this movie for the life of me, to be honest. I think it's painfully slow. It's painfully boring at times. I think what it wants to be of this fun, reptile thing where it's like, we want to take, like I said earlier, we want to take some kind of animal or reptile, whatever, and exploit it and make it seem scary. And this movie could have been executed so well. And now there's a bunch of stupid fucking sequels to this as well.
I have no intention of watching those, honestly.
No desire to see those at all. But at the end of the day, to be honest, I would probably never rewatch this movie. I think that
Oh my god.
I've known about this movie for a long time. I've seen a couple parts here and there and whatever. It's always included in any kind of like YouTube horror series or anything. Like I showed
Yeah.
you
Uh-huh.
the Good Bad Flicks. Go check out Good Bad Flicks if you're looking for just this dude explores all different kinds of movies that are just absolutely terrible. And yeah, I just think at the end of the day, I would definitely rate it very low. I don't know. I think it's fun, and you can agree with me. It's a fun movie, but I just think it was just poorly executed at the end of the day. I think it was a failed attempt at what it could have been. I think that's where it is. If I take for it what it is by itself, I would say it's more like a 3, like watchable and enjoyable.
Okay.
But I'm in my head, I can't stop comparing it to, oh my God, this movie could have been so much better. Because
Okay.
as a kid, I thought the
Yeah.
idea of a fucking killer snake is so cool and it's so
Yeah.
creepy and it's so whatever. Because like when I lived out in LA, we went hiking one day, and on the trail was this giant fucking rattlesnake, dude. Those things get fucking huge.
And you had
And
to go.
yeah, and it was literally so.
Yikes.
I'm walking down because out in LA, it's like just fucking desert everywhere, and like when you were going down like this path, it was like going down a mountain. I see this like group of people standing there, and nobody's moving, and I go up to like behind them. I'm like, come on, let's keep going, like whatever. And then I look
Yeah.
up to it, and it's just a giant snake.
rattlesnake.
Yep, curled up, just kind of just sitting in the middle. Because what they do is they like to go out on the path because it's really hot.
Yeah, and
They
sit
like
in
to
the
sit
sun.
out there and stuff. Yeah, they like to be in the sun and shit. And of course, the only open spots in nature a lot of
Right
the
there
time
on
are
the
the
trail.
paths. Yeah, of course.
So
So
what'd you do?
We
You
ended
pick it up and fight it?
No, it ended up we like stood there for a little bit and ended up just like
Slithering
slithering
away.
away.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
which is creepy as hell because then you don't know where the hell that
You
goes.
should have challenged it to a fight.
Just dueled it like
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah. Should have punched it in the face and ripped off its tail.
It's a cool premise, a snake movie. Anacondas are always well known. Everyone always says using anaconda. Obviously, it's a dick reference of a big dick, yada yada. But Anaconda to me have always those in like boa constrictors and just giant fucking snakes. That's one of my buddies actually. He I'll have to show you pictures. He collects snakes and shit like that. He's
For
got
zoos and collectors?
yeah, for zoos and collectors. And like I don't know, it's a cool little side hobby and it's a cool little area where yes, a horror movie could work. But then I think of other shitty movies about reptiles like frogs. I'll have to show you that one day.
That
That's
sounds
a bad
awful.
One. It's
I think
it's from the 70s.
Frogs.
Frogs. It's horrible. It's been done to fucking death. And I think Anaconda, for it being a blockbuster B movie, is fine and it's fun and it's rewatchable. But at the end of the day, just my inside voice keeps saying I could have done this so much better. So, all right. Well, Scrooge, thank you for introducing me to this movie.
No problem, baby burr.
Baby burr.
Little baby burr.
Well, because he's got like the Tony Montana sound, and like I said, he also sounds like Tommy Wiseau at certain parts.
It's a
as
little
well.
baby burr.
Exactly. All right, Scrooge. I may see.
And this is Scrooge.
And that was probably the worst movie that we've done so far.
You've said that now like 4 or 5 times, so when that's probably going to say it again.
Whatever. These are real bad movies. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
You know, speaking of anacondas, it reminds me of the great philosopher Sir Mix-a-Lot who once said, "My anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, hun." And I think that's a really, important saying that we don't say enough around here because my anaconda really don't want none unless you got buns, hun. And it's just one of those things that, you just got to have, like just a big